Hi guys, it's Eileen here, and I was thinking about making a little mini art journal. And I'm going to use toilet paper rolls because I got so many of them. And what I did, when I was thinking about to do the mini art journal, was to flatten out my toilet paper rolls and cut them in half. So that's what I was kind of thinking about doing. And then we have all these little pieces for a mini toilet paper roll art journal, and make a little book out of it. So I'm going to try to make all of my pieces as even as I can. So we might have to trim some edges. And you can do as many pages as you want. But I wanted to use up some of these, and I've made little mini books and stuff like that before, but not quite this small. So I have a die cut that cuts out these shapes. So if you happen to have any die cuts, you can use them for any little book album type of things. And I cut a ton of these white cardstock poster boards papers that were left over scraps. Whoops, that one went flying. Leftover scraps from posters I made. So I have these, and I'm going to attach them to this book and then have the holes on the outside. So that makes the book a little bit bigger, and it's really nice. So the first thing you're going to want to do is cover these up. So you can cover them up with scrapbooking paper, any kind of paper, but if this is an art journal, a little mini art journal, maybe think about covering it up with your own art. So, like, I have some of my ATC backgrounds and stuff like that. I can cover up one on here, like, you know, and glue the cover on, or the background onto there. So maybe I will do that with one of my ATC's cards, because I made plenty of these. I'm just going to flip it over. I've made plenty of spares in case I wanted to use them for other backgrounds, because I made a whole page of cardstock of the Galaxy. And usually I do quite a few at a time. Maybe not usually a whole huge page, but with the Galaxy I did. So then I'm going to cut it out. And it's nice because if this is going to be your little art journal, you want to have all your art on the page. One suggestion would be to plan out all your pages, and before you glue them all on, say this is my background. Before I glue them all on, you will have painted the edges so then they match whatever background kind of color that this is. So I would do this black. So this little journal page will be black. I can spray alcohol ink, emboss, whatever you want to do with the edges, and so it won't be white. And this will be cut down. So let's just, I'm going to estimate here how it looks. I'm just kind of give you a little general idea. I'm going to go around that edge. I'm going to go around that edge. I'm going to pause the video because the dog. So I cut the edges off but you kind of get an idea where I'm going on with this. And then the holes you will punch out here, not on the toilet paper roll. So then you'll have a little pocket for any other extra art on there. And I think that's going to be a cute little mini art journal. So I'm going to do that on that page. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the same one on the back page or not. We might just save that onto the side. So I can use like this ATC card, you know, and I could just attach it to there. So I'm going to cover these up and paint them up on the edges and then try to figure out where they go. And that's what I'm going to do. Then I got to figure out my edging and where I want, or what colors I want. For this particular die cut, I have 2 edges to choose from. So you can, I mean, you may not have these, but if you do, I mean, you can utilize your stuff for other things. Let's just kind of give you an idea of what, look at your products and your stuff in a different light. Now, if you just had paper, you could just do a little wave of, you know, draw something on the paper, fold it in half, use that cut, and use that paper or cardstock as a pattern. So here's a scrap paper here. So I'm going to need to draw, something. It's going to have to come up like this far. This is where, oops, where my toilet paper is going to come up to. So if I wanted to do something like this, you could just kind of eyeball the center. So I made a little bit of a cross there, eyeballing the center. So then you could go like something like that, and there's your tracer. So you could trace that out on a piece of paper. So your fold would come out, say you want to have a little bit of an end. Your fold would come out here, but the actual toilet paper will come to here. So then when you do it onto a piece of paper, you draw it out, and then you fold your paper in half, cut them out. So however many pages or sheets you want to do of that. So you don't need to have the die cut, but since I had tons of these cut it out, because I was using them for a workshop, I may as well use them up. So it's just a good way to think outside the box and using your products and things you have that are just going to sit around forever. So that's that. Okay, so now I decided on my pieces. So here is one of my pages. It's going to be the Galaxy and the Steampunk, and then of course I will have it all painted here. This one up here, and I'm going to grab it for you so you can see, is going to be the napkin and all the texture that I did with that, and the embossed napkin, and it's got ink on it stamped, so that texture is going to be on that one. And then of course I will try to make it look good with that. This one here is another one. I glued 2 of these papers together, and I might have to straighten out this roll to put this Asian paper together with this one, the golden orange, and then on the back side I have the clown paper. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do something hopefully that will go with that on that. Okay. And another one here is the other half of my steampunk card. So I'm going to add that to it, and it's going to be a little bit shorter, but I also have this end here, so I'm just going to put it on like that to make it go, you know, and then I have another galaxy. So I will try to, I know it's doubling up, but I didn't want to waste my cards, so I'm going to try that. This one here, I have a piece of on ATC I haven't finished. It has modeling paste on it and different inks, and there's a girl on that one there. And on the back side I'm going to be putting some burlap and doing something on that. And so that will be a page. So I don't know if I switch up. I don't know if I should switch them up or not with the Galaxy or not. Anyway, so those are the pages I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. So now I'm just going to paint the edges of the pages here, like this one here. I'm going to paint it black. And hopefully this sounds really watery, and this is an old paint, so I want to use it up. It is quite watery. It's like a midnight color. But it'll work. So I'm just going to do the edges with that. Because it's really old paint, and it's not like something I'd really want to use on a project because it's just iffy. But it's good on this because you're just doing the edges. So it can use up all that old stuff that you're just not really... See, look how watery that is, and I shook it. It's pretty watery, but it'll work for this because it's just needing to cover the edges. So you just need to do the 3 edges because the back side's going to be covered in the spine type thing that I have there going on. To do that, I'm going to do this one as well because it's got the darker background. With the book paper one, I don't know if I showed you that one. I probably didn't show you that one. I got a book paper one. I'm not going to do the edges on that because it matches pretty well. I might just ink them afterwards to kind of blend them all together, but I'm not going to do the edges pre-do them. And I'm going to do the inside of this toilet paper roll on the one side too, just a little bit. But with the book paper one, it's going to match pretty close to the changing. Book paper's kind of like a yellowy tan, like, you know, like this toilet paper. So, oops, did I do the bottom here? Nope. So I'm going to leave the book paper, and I did the book paper on this one that I painted and blotted and put ink on and did that side. So I'm going to leave that, and then these are going to be my pages. So this one, I will do another color. I will probably do an orange on it to match the orange, because this one it won't really matter on this page with the clown page. So that's what I'm going to do. Could always go over a little bit with the ink too to blend it in on the one side, like flicking the ink on, if that's the way I go, or even like red ink or whatever. So, but it'll help it look complete with the edges, not like showing raw edges. So that's why I like to do it. So when I did Carly's, or I mean, oh, I did one for Carly too. I made a little book for Carly, and it had all these little things that she liked on it. And I also did a book for Cora, and she has a little video on the flip of the book I did for her, for when she was learning how to read and doing her first syllables and stuff like that. That was, oops, the book I did for her, just for her reading. I'm going to go around, I think for this one I'm going to do the brown, the cocoa, coffee bean, that's it, coffee bean. Drop that in there. Yeah, and it just gives it a finished look. So this video is already over, I think, 15 minutes long, so I might have to do more than one part, which is okay with me if you guys don't mind watching 2 videos of the same, while working on the same project kind of a thing. Because I could just skip everything, but then how are you going to see what I'm doing? Like, you know, showing you parts by part. So I'm going to just continue doing this, but what I'm going to do is just stop it and do the second part of a video, because it doesn't seem to split. I can't split videos on the phone. If I were to download them on the computer, I probably would be able to do it. But gotta get one of those. Gotta get a computer. I don't like my husband's laptop too much. Okay. So I'm gonna check here how many minutes we are into this. So for this next part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start gluing the pages to my toilet paper rolls, but I'm not going to add these on till after, because I want to change them, and I don't want them all the same color. I think I'm going to try to do them to the style of each page. So for example, this one will be more of a metallic-y gold or something like that. I'll emboss something on there or something like that. I don't want them to be like a harsh like thing, I don't think. Anyways, but we'll see. I might change my mind if I do the first one dark or something like the Galaxy one, and maybe it'll look good on all of them. Maybe I'll make it look like a little leather binding look. I don't know. But for now, what I do know is I'm going to glue this page on. So I'm just using my tacky glue. It's just a little sheet, so I'm not going to use my gel medium. See how nice that is just around the edges, just because, like even down here, just because you add that little bit of paint, so then it doesn't look like it sticks out like a sore thumb, that it's not quite cut even or whatever. Now I've got glue on my hands. Already getting sticky. So even if it's a little off, it's kind of gonna blend in with that anyway. So I'm not too worried. I shouldn't be too worried about the end here because this is getting covered. But here's my first piece. Flip it over, put my second one on there. Got some hair stuck to my glue. I'm going to use this piece here. I don't know, they look like they're really clowning around. They're so cute. I like the paper, the circus paper. I don't even know who it was from. I can go look, but I do like it a lot, but it's kind of hard to use. I did use it on ATC and one art journal, but because there's so much going on, and it's hard to cut up, and it's just so cute just to look at. But I think I bought 2 packs because I think I went back and get another pack because it was on sale. And
Mommy, can I use the iPad for music?
Nope.
But my phone's not letting me use music.
So I am just grabbing a baby wipe here and wiping some of the sticky off because my fingers are all sticky. So that's one done. I'm going to move this to the side here or up here to let dry. Oops. And I'm going to leave the binder back, whatever you want to call it, with it. Now this one, next. I'm just leaving these papers with it because I kind of, this one's a little crooked, but that's okay. Don't lose track of them. I don't want to lose track of them. So I'm going to glue these ones on here. Try to get the glue as close to the end as I can because I have a baby wipe, so it's going to wipe off pretty good and get the sticky off. It gushes. Pretty good glue, so that tacky glue is. Just hold it down, wipe your edges with the baby wipe, because if you don't use the wet baby wipe, it will get, or something damp, it will get really sticky. So, I'm busy! Children. Okay, I'm going to flip it over to the other side. And I think I put too much glue because this one's just a little bit shorter, but that's okay. Stick it down, hold it down a bit. I did do a double of this one because, I mean, this paper is so different. Not one is the same because you're just like putting it all over. It's a little different than, oh, I know, using the Galaxy thing too, but so I glued this one on. Just redoing some of the edges a little black, just very carefully so I don't, because I had to cut off some of the edges. It was a little big. So now I have this one done. And I'm going to put this to the side. It's going to be my little book page there. And we're going to work on the next one. It's the best to have them cut just a little bit down too from the, that's why you put the edges on the toilet paper roll. It looks the best even if it's just a teeny smaller, then going over is just hard to get it to stick right. So I'm going to put my bone folder only in there just so then I can push down and not get glue over the edge. So I'm sealing it shut because potentially I could use that for a pocket, so I might just do that. And I don't want to glue them shut. But I do want it to be nice and firmly pushed down. Don't forget your baby wipe. That's that side. This little edge here is like lifting a bit. I might have to cut that one down. And on the back side I have my steampunk design. Which I could have cut shorter too, like, you know, more even with the other one. Thinking about it now, but I didn't. So, but it's okay. It still works. We all learn little things, doing things. What would have been better? We kind of learn it as we go along. And my fingers are very sticky, so that's why I keep wiping them. I don't want to get any more glue on my Galaxy. I already got some on there. And I'm going to use, because this one's a little stiff and I had a backing on it, I'm just going to use a little clip to hold the corner down. Just keep these on hand for clipping things. This edge I really don't mind if it gets glued. This edge, don't want it to glue close because I may want to use the bucket. And the other paper here is lighter than this paper. I have cardstock behind it, so that's why it's lifting a bit. So I think I'm going to stop right here for part 1, and then I'm going to continue for part 2. So thanks for watching, and look for part 2.